So I've been playing a lot of Splatoon 3. In fact, I've been playing so much that I forgot to actually make videos for 2 months. Oops. Well, better late than never, I suppose. Today I'd like to share some of my thoughts on the game. But first, I must say goodbye to my beloved Splatoon 2. There's a new piece of hotness in town. Though I honestly thought they'd release Splatoon 3 on a new system. After all, isn't Nintendo just competing against itself? I guess not, this thing just prints money. It's the best-selling game in Japan for 2022. That's pretty impressive considering it came out in September. Anyway, let's dive straight into what everyone cares about the most. The commercial. While it doesn't beat You're a Kid Now, it does seem to have Greta Thunberg in it. I'm not sure why since Splatoon is all about polluting, but I give this commercial an 8 out of 10 anyway. Next, we have the second most important topic, the idols. Here we have Deep Cut, comprised of Shiver, Fry, and Big Man. So, who out of these three is the best? Well, as you may or may not know, I was all about Pearl in Splatoon 2. She had that meme gremlin energy. Also, everyone hated her at first, and I'm a natural contrarian. She did eventually win though, when she achieved victory in the final Splatfest, Chaos vs. Order. Consequently, Chaos is the theme of this game, with the game's hub Splatsville being the city of Chaos. However, it's not really that chaotic. But it is a better hub than Inkopolis ever was though. Anyway, to get back on point, Fry is even more gremlin-esque than Pearl. Unfortunately for her, Big Man exists. How can you not love Big Man? His name is Big Man, for God's sake. Sorry, Shiver and Fry. Better luck next time. So let's get into the real meat and potatoes, the single-player story, also known as the Return of the Mammalians. It starts off like the other two games, with the kidnapping of the Great Zapfish. You meet up with Captain Cuttlefish, or rather just Cuttlefish since he's retired now. He still recruits you as the new Agent 3 anyway. Yeah, this sure is the same game again for the third time in a row. I accepted it with Splatoon 2 because, hey, you could recycle anything from the Wii U and it would be new to most Switch players. But this is getting a tad ridiculous. Does this justify a new release? But then DJ Octavio shows up after like 5 minutes. You defeat him, then you fall in a hole and Cuttlefish gets kidnapped. This is where the actual game begins. Oh, so they were just pretending to be lazy. So you meet up with Callie, Marie, and the newly christened captain of the new Squidbeak Splatoon, Agent 3 of the first game. Agent 4 and 8 are MIA, I guess. So you're off to explore the land of Alterna. You might notice that name is one letter off of Alternia. Yeah, I'm starting to think God hates me. The gimmick here is that you have a small fry companion, called your little buddy. Frankly, I tend to kill all those little bastards, but I guess I can make an exception just this once. Little Buddy is used as a tool for puzzle solving and finding hidden things. You know, since we have a salmonid companion, it makes you wonder just who the main antagonist is. There's someone around here spreading what's known as the fuzzy ooze. This turns anyone that touches it into a hairball. Who could be behind? Yeah, it's Mr. Grizz. Hell yeah, I've been wondering what he's been planning. Splatoon 2's foreshadowing wasn't exactly subtle, but it's really nice that Nintendo has learned to set up things for their sequels. I mean, I played Salmon Run to death. 3,915 shifts apparently. I think I've worked at Grizzco more than my actual job. So I'm all for Mr. Grizz being the focus of the story. The actual gameplay is sort of a combination of the Octo expansion and the standard campaigns from the first two games. Most levels have a gimmick of some kind. Like here you have to hop over all these deadly waves. Frankly, I think the Octo expansion is still better, however. That game was pure Kino from start to finish. Here it's sort of sloppy seconds. Unlike the Octo expansion, this story at least has a hub world. So let's talk about Alterna. Lore-wise, it was the last holdout of humanity until they finally died for good. So I find this place rather depressing. It's not really what I want from my hip Squid game. Over the course of the story, we learn just why the sea life suddenly evolved to live on land. There were some magic crystals that held humanity's hopes and dreams, which seeped into the ocean. The squids and octopi obtained humanoid form, and thus was history. I didn't really think that needed an explanation though. I mean, I don't need to learn the evolutionary history of Goombas, for instance. I guess it's cool though. Callie seems to like following me around Alterna. I guess it was her turn after Marie did the same thing in Splatoon 2. Callie bros, we finally won. So this campaign is fine and all. As I said, the Octo expansion is superior. Or at least I thought so until I got to the end. We finally see Mr. Grizz. It turns out he's not just a statue, but an actual bear. I do like that he keeps talking in corporate speech as well. His plan is to force all life on Earth to become mammals via the fuzzy ooze. To do this, he needs to go into space. You, of course, follow along in pursuit. Holy shit, I'm fighting Mr. Grizz with golden eggs. How ironic. And listen to that music. It's a literally epic version of Happy Little Workers. And this is just stage 1. It then turns into a kaiju battle. Your small fry buddy turns into a huge fry, and they battle it out. DJ Octavio comes to assist you, and, well, this is fucking awesome. Holy shit. I don't know what else to say. What was the Octo expansion final boss again? A goddamn statue? Fuck that. It's got nothing on fighting Mr. Grizz in space with the fate of the world in your hands. When he gets defeated, he realizes that you can't recreate the past. You can only move forward. He remains orbiting in space throughout the credits. Of course, there's still one last piece of the puzzle to unravel. Where did the Zapfish go? Okay, well, you find it near the end, but who cares about that? We never got Mr. Grizz's backstory. So after you clear everything else, it turns out there's one last challenging level to overcome. And if you beat this, you'll find out all about Mr. Grizz. Welcome to After Alterna, which sure is a fucking bitch. This level will put your skills to the test like nothing before. There's long stretches of platforming without checkpoints, and there's a pretty tough battle with Octoling soldiers. Wow, that was fucking bullshit. But I had to persevere. I had to find out Mr. Grizz's backstory. You don't understand, 3,915 shifts. I needed to complete the puzzle. Eventually, I did get it. So, Mr. Grizz was a normal bear on the Ark Polaris. It was a space shuttle intended to bring humanity to a new world. Instead, it ended up crashing back down on Earth. Mr. Grizz gained intelligence and sought out any remaining mammals on Earth. He found none. Well, there was Judd, but this near extinction was clearly unacceptable. So he founded Grizzco, which let him amass hundreds of thousands of golden eggs. This allowed him to manufacture fuzzy ooze on a mass scale, ultimately culminating in the story of this game. Wow, so after all this time, the mystery has been solved. It turns out you've been helping the villain all along. How many golden eggs did I collect again? Oh, 72,000! Excuse me, my bad. That being said, the actual focus of the game is the multiplayer modes. Honestly, I have to say, these are the parts of the game I find the least interesting. It's mostly because Splatoon 3's netcode remains the worst netcode I've ever seen. It's not really fun to fight anyone. Either I die in a quarter of a second, or I just curb stomp the opponents. It's all about who has the better connection. Very rarely do I find a match that feels fair at all. Splatfests are pretty frustrating too. So far, I've only been on losing teams. So yeah, every Splatfest I've been in mostly consists of me yelling at my TV for 3 hours. It's not like I can't do the Splatfest, I have no choice. If you miss out, then you miss out. They did put in 3 teams this time though. That's pretty neat, I guess, except that means I have 1/3 chance of winning rather than half, but whatever. But there is a new mode that I actually like, and they're called Table Turf Battles. They're a card game version of Turf War, and it's better than actual Turf War. You have to use strategy instead of just having a better internet connection. Your opponents are various NPCs from the game, including Deep Cut. I say that they should make this into an actual card game. I mean, Nintendo did used to make those. Forget all that though, I just want to talk about Salmon Run. It's still in the game even though Mr. Grizz gets stranded in space and his whole plan fails anyway. So why is he still around and why am I still collecting eggs? Well, Little Judd gets a headset after the story mode, so people think he's secretly in charge now. I guess we'll just have to learn about his evil scheme later. You know what? I'm nothing if not a loyal employee. I don't ask questions about the boss. I'm like Homer Simpson when he worked for Hank Scorpio. So one big improvement is that Grizzco never closes. I never understood why they thought that was a good idea in Splatoon 2. I should be able to play Salmon Run anytime I want. The other big change is that you can throw eggs now. That's good for transportation and those last minute captures. Also, there's new boss salmonids and a king salmonid, Kohozuna. He's pretty tough. It took me a couple weeks before I got my first kill. But man, is it so satisfying when you do get him. Actually, all of Salmon Run in this game feels much harder than it was in Splatoon 2. Although you can demote yourself to make it easier, but where's the fun in that? Higher level Salmon Run shifts truly exemplify the chaos theme. There's just so much shit going on at once. But the challenge is what makes it enjoyable. There's also something called Big Run, which is an event that happens every couple of months. This is where salmonids invade regular multiplayer stages. Okay, so Mr. Grizz is a supposed bad guy, but I don't see anyone else stopping the salmonid menace. I'm starting to think he did nothing wrong. Anyway, between Return of the Mammalians, Normal Salmon Run, and Big Run, this might just be my Salmon Run dream game. I don't even know why I love that mode so much. I just do. I guess it's just really thrilling. It also appeals to my collectathon instincts. I even made my own custom Grizzco merch. I have a Grizzco mug, perfect for drinking coffee during those early morning shifts. I also have a Grizzco hat, perfect for wearing as a hat. Anyway, I don't know if I'm going to play Splatoon 3 to death like I did for Splatoon 2. In Splatoon 2, I made it all the way up to rank X. I rolled over my level, and maxed out all my money. I pretty much accomplished all I set out to do. But to do that whole grind again, I'm still not sure. I have a lot of other games that I want to play. But let's be real, I'm just going to end up doing that all again, aren't I? Yeah. Well, I guess I better get back to it. Thanks for watching. Hey guys, I hope you enjoyed this small review of Splatoon 3. If you did, consider leaving a like, a comment, or even subscribe. I really appreciate it. Well, as I said, I gotta get back to the game. See you next time.